As I prepare to watch the eclipse, I think that sometimes we think we know a lot. We know a lot about the solar system, and we know a lot about the movement of the planets and the moons and suns. And we do know a lot. But if we think about where we came from in that knowledge, what did we really understand early on in our history as humans? Not much. And so as we look back, we wonder, okay, well, those things took a long time to learn. And I look at the development of humankind, and I think there's another area where we have also a lot to learn. And that's the area of psychic ability, psychic power, psychic strength, the projection of psychic energy. It seems like we are 5,000 years ago as humans staring at the moon. Similarly, it seems as though we are looking at the realities of psychic energy and psychic force and not really understanding what it is that we're seeing. And I think that's okay, because the unseen world is not making itself readily available to most of us. We are having to really look beyond where we think we can see and learn to see in another way, to hear in another way, to attune ourselves, to orient ourselves to a different kind of knowing and understanding. And the clue to me that's so powerful as to why this is so is how little we've been able to accomplish with regards to the seen world of religiosity, of myth, and of superstition, and of rituals. And my experience is that we don't seem to have learned very much, because we keep redoing the same myths, redoing the same things in ways that really don't seem to be very efficient. They don't seem to work. And that's been my experience in the systems that are available and have been available to me since I was a little kid. So what really has worked? What's been the system that I've been able to rely on that's been the most pleasurable, the most comfort, the most results? Well, realistically, it's been my own experience. It's been the experience of being outside of my body when I was 5 years old and floating above myself and looking down upon myself, and in that moment realizing that I could be in two places at once. And in that room there were other forms, 3 other forms, in a bed all their own. And now, as I've meditated on that experience over many years, it seems as though those forms are with me today. They were with me when I was 5, and they were probably not yet incubated in their most mature form. But today, I feel like they're around me still. They're here. And that's a kind of psychic comfort, a psychic ability that they have that I'm beginning to become aware of. And it's a powerful thing. So what I'm saying is that for you, if the systems that you have utilized to gain orientation, to find your bearings, to provide you with a moral compass, moral clarity, seem to be breaking down or seem not to have worked very well, I think that's a true understanding of the world you occupy. It was that way for me. I understood it that way. As yet, these things are true, but upon examination, upon practical thinking, In other words, the nuts and bolts of psychic understanding, I didn't really have any understanding of it, didn't know how it worked. So, setting aside the things of the material world, the seen world, to begin to undertake an exploration of the realities, the technology of the unseen world, it seemed like the most logical thing to do. So, to put it flatly, a lot of stuff here doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's not efficacious. So, what does work? Well, my experiences, my understanding of the arrival of a very powerful entity in my life, which came to bring me great beauty and joy and fulfilled me in an intense way. That worked. And other experiences. So now we have two major things. I have, in my experience, my out-of-body experience. Now I have the arrival. And I've had the voice giving me clarity of what it was I should be experiencing and expecting. And so that psychic intrusion, that psychic envelopment, is something that I can now really hearken to. I can like it. I can understand it. It makes more sense to me. The systems of this world, whether they're myth or ritual or sacrament or, pick a category, they don't seem to have done very much for me. And it's not that they should do something for me. It's what do I do for them? And my contribution to the systems of this world are very limited. I don't think of them as significant. But I do think of my experiences in the unseen world as being very powerful, being very real, being very tactile, being approachable, apprehendable. And I look and I see that those experiences bring me something in addition to just the experiences that they offered to me physically, that there is another aspect of them that I call them, well, they are prophetic experiences. Being able to see a little bit into the future, kind of getting a sense of where things are going. Maybe an apocalyptic kind of reality, to see that the systems of this world are about to change again and again and again and again as societies expand, collapse, expand again, collapse again, and take on new forms that are similar to the old forms, but new in their own way, with a new reality, a new psychic push, a new psychic power that humankind seems to not really understand. We understand it about as well as the ancients understood an eclipse, where the day becomes night. And so my work these days has been more night work, more of doing, I guess you call it moon work, although that's, something a little not quite so accurate. But I like night work. I like that sense of envelopment and intimacy that comes from working in the night. There's a closeness away from the harsh light of the sun, the intellect that pushes us so. So I like night work, and this is night work to me. And I commend it to you to begin to look for signs and wonders in the night, and to begin to explore your own experiences in more depth and bring them out in the night. that you might see the psychic power of the things you have experienced as reflective of an understanding of a reality that's very real and very active and present. It affects us dramatically. We don't know how, and like we don't really understand the realities of moons passing in front of suns, but take it as so, at least I have for me. And it seems to give me a lot more of a sense of a larger world, of being able to understand the two worlds, the world of floating on the divine sea and the world of the heavenly dome, and the going of to and fro, back and forth, the passing through the two worlds. I like that. I like that idea. I like being in those two places at once. It's very difficult sometimes to pass through these worlds, these doorways, because of the density issues. You know, the world of this world is a very dense place. Gravity and the density of things are very real. I mean, we are dense beings. The reality of the heavenly dome is the beings are very light. They are not dense. They move in ways that we cannot understand. That's my intuition. That's my word from the guides who have been with me since I was 5. That they are very light. They are not going to come into this density. I might see their smile. I might see their form, their unformed form, because it seems as though that form is not really going to be very visible. But it's felt and it's understood. And the psychic reality of those forms is true, and I like it so. So that is my practice on this night, this wonderful, glorious night, this night of intimacy and of connection, where psychic realities make themselves known in ways that are profound and yet very difficult to understand in the sense of the modern mind. So we go forth and we continue to voyage both emotionally and mentally and psychically in harmony and in alignment with the divine hierarchy. Amen.